How you doing, YouTube? Underworld 6667 here, doing a deck profile, and as you can tell by the left hand of the screen, you've got these lovely 6 samurai cards. Now, of course, we're going to start off with the actual main deck, the body of the 6 samurai deck. Of course, people are going to either disagree or agree with me, but I think this is the main body of a 6 samurai deck. And as you can see by the lower half of the screen, there is 6 spots missing. Now, this is up for debate, but I believe that those 6 spots can be your tech. This could be your cards that you like to play because it fits well with your play style. Now, depending on your play style, whether it be aggressive or conservative, it's totally up to you. Now, we're going to start off, of course, with the Grandmaster of the 6 Samurai. Grandmaster always has to be played in this deck, at least in 2, possibly 3, depending on how aggressive you want to be. Now, because of the new cards like Bottomless Trap Holes and all that kind of fun stuff, these guys get removed on a consistent basis. So the effect of it coming back, not as useful now as it was way back when 6 Samurais first came out. Now, a lot of people don't like this card, which is the daughter of the Grandmaster, Hand of the 6 Samurai. I know, probably not the daughter, but anyway. I would like to say Hand of the 6 Samurai, very useful, especially in a 6 Samurai deck, because, you know what, Mizuho, yes, she does the same thing. Yes, she can be special with blue and has a big FTK combo, but you know what, it can only use once, whereas Hand of the 6 Samurai, yeah, you can use it as many times as you want. You want an infinite Regeki on your lovely Gateway of the 6 plus maybe 2 Uniteds? Sure, why not? So, of course, then we go over to the tuner, Cage Musha of the 6 Samurai. This is very important, especially when you're combining it with all the level 3s that you guys have to, of course, special summon the lovely legendary 6 Samurai Shi-En. This is a very powerful card in that you can negate a lot of things with it. Now, this guy I'm not completely happy with. Kaigeki is a level 3 non-tuner that special summons. Pretty much the only thing that you're going to do with it is Cage Musha. I mean, you can special summon other 6 Samurai monsters, but most of them already have the ability to be special summoned themselves. The likable part about this is if you have a level 3 and you have another level 3, you can still pop 2 out on the field, search for, the Gateway of the 6, search for another Samurai, and then exceed, but, it's not as broken as you'd hope it to be. Now, we of course have the lovely Kizan, the Grandmaster wannabe, the next in line, if you will. Very important in this deck because he is so versatile. You can play 3 on the field, unlike Grandmaster, so he is very important to the deck. Now we move down to the red and blue, part of the red, white, and blue team. Of course, you've got the blue, which searches out when it is tribute, a 6 Samurai card from the graveyard to your hand. In a lot of cases, it will be Mizuho with the continuous effect of Gateway of the 6, putting counters, mixed with 6 Samurai United. Boom, 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 gaining 2 each per turn. I'll explain that a little further in a couple seconds. But it's an infinite loop combo where you get infinite counters, which means you can either fill up the field full of monsters, you can fill up your hand full of monsters just in case you overextended. You can fill up the grave with as many cards as you want. You can start synchroing, blah, blah, blah. It's broken. Now, one thing that you have to realize is in this skeleton of the deck, it's very difficult to actually pull off the combo because you only have one Gateway to 6. And of course, you have to couple it with either 1, I'll show you the combo in a second, or 2 of the counter-getting cards. So either that, Dojo, or Castle. Now, as you can see by the rest of this is all staples. I'm not going to explain it, other than, of course, double-edged sword technique. Now, because we're using so many level 3s, we can now abuse XYZ monsters. Leviathan, and of course Zenmaines. These cards are broken, so you have to play them. Now, most people use them for, of course, the Cage Musha and the Kaigeki effect to special summon the lovely Shi-En, but now Shi-En's at 1, so it's a little more difficult to play it unless you have all these level 3s to abuse and use to special summon pretty much your level 3 XYZ monsters. Now, here's where I'm going to explain the actual effect of the combo before we go too far. Now, the skeleton of the deck is not based on being either conservative or really aggressive. So, of course, we can turn it into aggressive. I'll show you how, and we can go more conservative. I'll show you how. Now, what we do is we take one Shinai, one Mizuho, one Gateway of the Six, and one 6am United. Now they're all in a lovely row down at the bottom here. First things first, you play, of course, the 6 Samurai United, then you play the Gateway of the Six. Now both start with 0 counters, of course. Now you summon Shinai or Mizuho. It's totally up to you. It doesn't really matter. So you summon, then special summon its corresponding opposite color. So now you have a red and a blue on the field. You have 2 counters on here, 4 counters on here. You use 2 counters here, 2 counters here. Pop out your next red. So now you have red. Let me pop this up here so I can explain a little more. Now you have a red, a blue, and a red. Now, as you can see, as soon as you special summon that, this has 1 counter, this has 4. Now, you're able to search for another 6 Samurai card, but that would be extremely dumb. What you do is you get rid of this guy, tribute this guy, with, let's say, this one's effect, this one right here. You then target this one right here, send it to the grave. Both of these are now in the grave. Blue's effect activates, sending the red back to your hand. Ooh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Now, of course, because you have a total of 4 on the Gateway of the 6 Samurai, and this is now back in your hand, you use the 4 counters on the Gateway of the 6 Samurai to bring this back to your hand. Now, of course, this has 1 counter, this has 0 counters. Special summon, special summon. Actually, it's the opposite way, but you get what I'm saying. This now has 2 counters, this has 4. You, of course, then proceed to use the combo again, pitching him, killing her, bringing back her with the blues effect, and then, of course, you use 2 counters on here, 2 counters on here to bring him back. Now you are plus 2 counters on the Gateway of the 6. Once again, special summon, special summon. This has 6, this has 2, so on and so forth. So each time you do that combination, you can gain a million different counters, and of course you now have infinite counters on the Gateway of the 6. Best part about it is you can now either add 1 6 Samurai card from your deck to your hand, so you can add, and then, you know, go off. You're not really worried about overextending at this point because your hand is now full. Your opponent is now having to deal with on the field. You also have the ability to, of course, kill him to use his effect, bring it back, special summon it, use this effect to ditch that, kill on the field, bring it back using counters, instant Regeki and heavy Harpy's Feather Duster, all in one. Clear the field, clear the way, you're dead. Because you can remember, only use Mizuho once. Now, of course, we're going to go on to a little more with regards to this deck. Okay, as we continue on, we are going to be talking about how to make this a little more conservative, and that is with using your brain rather than using your muscle. These cards have all muscle, so using things like Gen X Ally Birdman coupled into the deck, you are able to abuse the fact that he can be special summoned more than once. Same with him. You can send him back to your hand with Birdman, popping Birdman out onto the field, and then re-special summoning him, as long as, of course, you have a 6 Samurai monster on your side of the field. Now, using that effect couples a lot into, you know, using Synchros as a weapon. You can use Black Rose as a weapon. You can use, once again, level 3 XYZ monsters. You can use level 6s. A lot of different combos can be generated just by using Gen X Ally Birdman's effect. Now, doing a little more control and providing a beat stick, and of course, Great Shogun Shen, you're able to sort of stop them a little bit. They're only able to use one magic card, but I do remind everybody, because most people don't understand this, if Shien, the Synchro, negates a card while this Shien is on the field, they are able to use a magic or trap once again, because apparently it never happened. So that's kind of weird. Now, going back into a little more control, Spirit of the Six Samurai. Now, Grandmaster of the Six Samurai mixed with this card brings Grandmaster a 2600 beat stick that draws you cards every time you destroy a monster. Now that, I don't care who you are, is an awesome effect. Now, of course, this is more of a side deck card, which is Dimensional Fissure, but you can simply put these in and take these out. What are you affecting really about the deck? Nothing. You're able to then stop plants, stop a lot of the graveyard manipulation. You can't really stop Dark Worlds because, of course, you have Grapha's effect and all that stuff. You get to kill Dimensional Fissure, so it's not going to really help you all too much. Now, going back into the ability to make this an OTK, very attack-heavy kind of deck, you have to put in, and this is my opinion, Reckless Greeds, and of course, 3 blues and 3 reds. Reckless Greeds are very important because this deck technically does not have a lot of draw power. I mean, if you're going to use this as your draw power, you've already special summoned your 2 monsters. Plus, you have to get rid of this in order to draw cards. So, that being drawn after you've already special summoned, after you've already gotten rid of all your tokens, is not going to really help you much. So, of course, you have to be able to play Reckless Greeds a lot more. Using also Pot of Duality would be a good idea because, hey, you know what? It's important to have the combo ready when you're ready to actually proceed with your big attack. You could also technically use 1-for-1s. I mean, you're not really concerned about the opponent's field, so they can +1 all they want. They're going to die because you have infinite counters on Gateway of the Six. You pump up a huge Mizuho or a huge Shinai or whatever you want to do, and you just attack for game. It's very simple. It's a very powerful deck, and I do hope you guys are leaving right now comments that love Six Samurais, even though it ran a format into the ground. Thank you very much, YouTube. Don't make those binder blunders. Bye.